To whoever needs to hear this, it is not selfish to love yourself, to take care of yourself, to make your happiness a priority. It's necessary. Making peace and happiness a priority isn't something you earn, it's something you practice. I packed up just about everything I owned,
And I feel like packing.
because sometimes healing asks us to carry a little extra before we can finally put it all down.
Saturday self-care. Woo woo.
In this episode of Traversing the Trail, I'm going to share one of the biggest lessons of the healing journey is that sometimes the person we forget to come back for is ourselves. As we drive into the El Dorado National Forest, let's talk about this. Have you ever had that feeling that somewhere along the way you lost a piece of yourself? Not physically, but emotionally. You keep showing up for everyone else, checking off responsibilities, surviving yet another week, but something inside you quietly whispers, "Come back for me." And that's what the practice of self-care Saturday became. What if the exhaustion you're feeling isn't because you're doing too much, but because somewhere along the way you stopped including yourself in your own life? Maybe you've become so good at anticipating everyone else's needs, making everyone else comfortable, keeping the peace, carrying the emotional weight, that you honestly don't even know what you need anymore. Maybe when someone asks, "What do you want?" your mind goes blank. Maybe taking a day for yourself makes you feel guilty. Maybe resting makes you feel anxious. Maybe sitting still feels uncomfortable. Because the moment life gets quiet, your thoughts get loud. Like, I get it. I've been there. Some days I still find myself there. But here's the thing. Trauma doesn't only change what we remember. It changes what our nervous system expects. So if you grew up believing love had to be earned, that your worth came from being helpful, responsible, the easy one, independent, never needing help, or always available, then taking care of yourself can actually feel very unsafe. I want you to hear that again. Taking care of yourself can feel unsafe. Not because self-care is dangerous, but because your body learned that other people came first. And that's the difference between being a caregiver and becoming a caretaker. A caregiver offers from a full cup. A caretaker often pours from an empty one, believing their value comes from rescuing, fixing, anticipating, or never needing anything in return. So, ask yourself, when was the last time I actually asked myself what I need today and actually listened? When was the last time you rested without trying to earn it first? When was the last time you did something simply because it brought you joy? You see, I understand because I've been on that same path. But here's what I've come to understand and why I come back to Icehouse Reservoir a lot. It is not to escape my life, but to reconnect with it. Because for me, nature has a way of helping me hear the parts of myself that get drowned out by the noise of survival mode. And here's something I wish I would have understood years ago. For a long time, I approached healing as if I had something broken inside of me that needed to be fixed. I was always asking, what do I need to work on next? What do I need to heal? But somewhere along the way, that question began to change. Instead of asking, how do I fix myself? I started asking, how do I come home to myself? And for me, one of the most powerful ways to do that has been through self-care in nature. It doesn't have to be expensive, and most days, all it takes is me, a few snacks, some water, and Mother Nature. Because out here, away from the noise and the constant demands of life, I can actually hear myself again. Nature doesn't heal us because it's magical. It heals us because it gives us the space to slow down, feel safe, become present, and reconnect with the parts of ourselves we've unintentionally left behind. And that's what this day became for me. It's a little bit of a hike to get back into this inlet area, but once you're there, the peace, quiet, and solitude, plus dragonflies, perfect. Ah. Walking on a fine line, 'cause the water's right there. Ooh, what do we have here? Looky, looky. I think I might need to move my can.
Saturday self-care. Woo woo.
What if giving yourself one afternoon could change the way you show up for yourself the rest of your life? What if rest wasn't something you had to earn? What if the person you've been waiting for is you? I had no idea this day was about to answer that question. And what you see right here is I'd set my phone up on a stump to record some B-roll. But what I didn't realize is that I had accidentally packed everything up and walked off and left my phone behind. So what you're seeing here for over an hour, it quietly watched the clouds drift by while I wandered off living my day. And isn't that what trauma does? Life keeps moving, we keep moving, but pieces of us stay behind, waiting patiently, hoping one day we'll remember to come back. As I began walking back to this area to retrieve my phone, I couldn't ignore the metaphor, you know me. So I've been discovering internal family systems, and what it teaches is that trauma can leave parts of us frozen in another moment. The scared part, the lonely part, the people-pleasing part, the little girl who learned she had to earn love by taking care of everyone else first. Healing isn't about pretending those parts don't exist. It's about becoming the person who finally comes back for them. That's why I believe self-care isn't selfish. It isn't a luxury. It's leadership. It's stewardship. Because how we treat ourselves becomes a template for how we treat every other part of our lives. Because transformation of paradigm is that how we do one thing is how we do everything. So remember, when we never slow down, we stay stuck reaching. When we make space, we begin responding.
Not me coming back 3 minutes later going, where's my other tripod? Sure, my phone. All bad, Lucy Lou. Gotta go all the way over there. There. From here. Woo. Good. Sorry, maybe this. I was back there. And I almost forgot my phone. And I feel like packing. Anyway, I needed some nature therapy. So nature therapy I did. Peace and quiet I got. Healing, check. Oneness with the great I am, check. Hanging with the butterflies, watching them be amazing. Watching them do their thing, check and check. Drive-bys. And just being out of nature.
We owe it to ourselves and all our parts to make our focus our own peace and happiness. And self-care is a great way to get that done. Every challenge we face has something to teach us. Every time we choose to get back up, we become a little stronger, a little wiser, and a little more ourselves. Healing does not ask us to be perfect. It does ask us to keep showing up for our health, for our peace, for the life we are creating, even when we can't see the whole path yet. Trust that every step matters. Keep going. One step, one breath, and one aligned choice at a time. And the life that you're looking for is not going to be found in becoming someone else. It's found in coming home to who you've been all along. The beautiful thing about coming home to yourself is that it doesn't end with you. Later that evening, I watched this golden dragonfly. It reminded me that transformation isn't something we force, it's something we allow. And the more we stop fighting ourselves, the more life will actually begin to meet us differently. And as you know or may not know, dragonflies to me have come to be a message of to live fully present, be you in the moment, become self aware and love self fully without conditions, and see the beauty in all things. One of the greatest lessons healing has taught me this past year: leave people as they are, accept situations for what they are. Every action doesn't need a reaction, and it's not love that we're afraid of. It's the possibility of re experiencing old pain again. You aren't broken. There's simply a part of you that's been waiting for you to come back home to you. So if no one has reminded you lately, take the day, walk into nature, breathe deeply, give yourself permission to come home to yourself. You deserve that. Thank you for traversing the trail with me, and I'll see you on the next one.